makakausap naman natin ang ilan sa kilalang online creators to voice out their opinions sa topic natin. Hindi ko napapatagalin pa, narito sina Jerry Lee Salvador at Jericho Arceo. Let's start with our question, no? Ano ang masasabi ninyo sa pahayag ni incoming PCOO Secretary tungkol sa pag-accredit sa mga vloggers to join presidential events?
Yes, actually, noong una ko siyang narinig, napatanong ako kung ano ba yung intention, like why are they doing this? And also another question I asked myself is, would they only accredit vloggers who are for the current government? So yun yung mga initial questions na naisip ko. I mean, we obviously view vlogging more as an entertainment rather than an information-centered thing here in the Philippines. So I understand the hesitation of a lot of Filipinos, pero I think it also depends on who will be accredited and if they'll be open to accredit bloggers who are on both pro and anti the government, if that makes sense.
Yes po, I agree kay Jerry Lee, no? That's the question I also asked. Ano pong intention nila? And also, would they be open to include vloggers or bloggers na hindi nila quote-unquote kaalyado, no? Alam naman po natin may uso yung bengatibo. Pero ayun, napaisip din po ako no, na of course before accreditation sa mga content creator. Syempre, ang lawak po ng vlogging, kanya-kanyang forte yan. But you know, I would consider people who are actually experts on such fields like journalists, professors, and etc. So yun po yung napaisip din ako.
Personally, nanonood ako ng mga vlogs nyo, so very much interested ako, more so, yung mga schoolmates natin on your views on this topic. Kasi specifically, kayo talaga yung, kumbaga, target audience of this specific accreditation policies, no? So, as vloggers ba, ano sa tingin nyo yung maiaambag nung ganitong klaseng, let's just say, it's an opportunity na rin, no, to like widen your content, kumbaga, your passion, because as sabi nga ni Jerry Lee kanina, no, it's more of an entertainment, it's more passion, lifestyle. These are some of the things na you do share on your platforms, no? So, kayo ba personally, how interested will you be to grab this opportunity, or will you grab this opportunity as content creators regarding sa usapin na to ng accreditation? Magpapa-accreditation din ba kayo? Or ano bang klaseng pivoting ang gagawin nyo just in case that this is really revisited? Simulan natin kay Jericho.
Medyo ano lang po ako siguro, hindi naman sa 50-50, pero kung ako po personally as a content creator, no, ako po, parang pagdating sa accreditation, like I've said before, kanina po sa first question, I would consider first people like journalists and experts sa mga fields na, sige, sana sila muna yung ma-accredit, no? Pero at the same time, when we say vloggers, sino yung tinutukoy natin? Kuwari ako, vlogger ako sa Kapampangan culture, sa faith ko, no? Not necessarily sa politics. You know, people watch me before with the content I have, not necessarily politics. But I have a friend who is also an advocate sa Kapampangan culture, but he is also a historian. Nag-aral po siya ng history sa Harvard, tsaka sa UC Davis ng human rights ata. I'm not sure, no? But vlogger siya, pero he is also qualified kasi he is pinag-aralan niya. So, ako, okay ako sa accreditation ng mga vloggers kung experts na sila. Right. Pero kung vloggers per se, parang wait lang, di ba? May mga journalist tayo, may mga experts dyan. So ako, unahin ko muna po sila. Eh kung yung experts nag-vlog, edi okay din. So parang ganun lang po siguro ako as of now.
Right? It's more of like, medyo nasa testing the waters din tayo right now given the current guidelines, which of course we will be learning more din, no, as this process goes through. So ikaw, Jerry Lee, kanina you really mentioned a lot about how you felt with this accreditation policy, given na there might be a question on objectivity and so and so. So, ikaw ba, mag-grab ka ba ng opportunity na ganito? Would you subject yourself to this kind of policy, or what kind of pivoting will you do ba, Jerry Lee, in terms of yung content na nilalabas mo ngayon, if ever you do decide to?
I'm an actor, so I do a lot of the videos behind the scenes na mga shoots. So if ever I'd be given the chance to do this, parang that would interest me on what goes on behind these events, if they'd be willing to do that. Pero I see this as actually, it's interesting for me din kasi nakikita ko it could cater to a whole different audience. Since I do believe that journalists talaga, I feel like yung mas dapat ma-accredit to do this. But in terms of vlogging, I feel like it's a different take because I feel like it would be more approachable, less serious. But obviously, research is still very important. So mas na-feel ko people who would put in the research into this would be better to do this. One example I could think of actually is Janina Vela, who has pivoted to talking about political issues, and she's doing a great job, I feel like, because she does her research well, and she also asks her lawyer friends in terms of these things. So, yung mga ganon. And I think some would be interested to do this, so I mean, let's give them a chance to do so. I feel like not a lot would, but why not?
Yeah. I understand naman yung both of their opinions, no, Trisha?
More on expertise yung naririnig nating keywords from both of our guests,
Yes,
right?
exactly, Trisha. And also naman, according naman dun sa press briefing na naganap noong nakaraang linggo, sinabi naman ni PCOO Secretary Cruz Angeles na they're still reviewing, 'di ba? This project or this accreditation ika nga kasi ang daming dapat i-consider, 'di ba? Ang daming dapat isipin, prosesuhin, 'di ba? Kasi nga may mga existing na journalists
Right.
and other people na related sa fields na 'yon to do that job.
Right.
But on the other hand, on their perspective naman, sinabi nila na meron silang mga ilang factors na dapat kapag accredited vlogger ka, kapag magre-release ka ng statement according dun sa presidential event na inatenan mo, it has to be germane. So, ibig sabihin, sabi nila, it has to be relevant to a subject under a certain consideration.
Right.
So, siguro sa mga iba, medyo bago to pakinggan. Pero since 2017 pa to nag-originate. Sabi nga nila na before, yung mga accredited vloggers ng PCO, dapat may at least 5,000 na followers. So, in line with that, Jericho and Jerry Lee, may alam ba kayo or updated ba kayo sa mga nangyayaring pagpupulong tungkol sa usaping ito?
I've heard about it, and I've done a little bit more research, obviously, after I found out that I was going to be a part of this interview. But yeah, yun yung initial reactions ko when I heard about it. And I feel like definitely we should put more thought into this. So I'm glad that, they're here our thoughts as well. And it's good that we have these kinds of discussions to hopefully maybe even help them with deciding on what to do and all.
Right. Actually, Jerry Lino and Jericho, not sure, no, but I think like we were all a bit surprised then because this is only something that came or resurfaced rather, no, in the recent years. And talagang nafokusan lang siya specifically during this time period. Pero Jericho, ikaw ba, have you heard about it? Or like nung narinig mo na meron ulit ganitong discussions, what were your thoughts about it? Have you discussed this with any of your friends? Like, napag-isip-isip nyo ba kung anong gagawin nyo regarding this specific topic or issue, especially dun sa nabanggit ni Gina kanina regarding sa public briefing?
Tinanong ko rin po yung mga kaibigan ko kung anong stand nila, and also napaisip din ako as a content creator. Una ko rin naisip po personally, sabi nga ni Ate Jerry Lee, is Janina Vela. She's also a friend, and again, very in line po yung kanyang kurso. Alam ko po, political science din yung kurso niya ngayon sa kolehiyo. That's why when she makes topics patungkol sa national elections, kumbaga inclusive governance po ni Vico, ang dami niya pong expertise, yung mga lawyers, yung mga taong involved pagdating dun sa isyong tinatalakay niya. Pero personally po, yun nga, I think I'm 50-50 na okay, we'll cross the bridge once this gets rolling. Pero personally, ako nga po, if talaga magde-delve yung mga content creators dito, I think there's a big responsibility, lalo na pagdating sa fact-checking, sabi nga po, Iba yung emotional ka, iba yung empirical na datos na kailangan nating talagang i-check. Di ba? Para hindi lang opinion yung sinasabi mo, ano siya, talagang, sabi nga, quote-unquote, facts siya. No?
On our next question, more of ano lang to, exploratory, theoretical, just in case lang talaga no, na this really does push through. Kung sakaling mapasali kayo sa roster ng mga mapapayagang sumali sa presidential briefings or like events, may idea na ba kayo or like napag-isipan nyo ba like on a top line note kung ano yung magiging content nyo? Medyo challenging, no? Kasi medyo iba ang setting talaga from your mga nakagisnan na ginagawa na content. Specifically you, Jerry, it's more of behind the scenes as you've also mentioned din kanina. I'm sure na napapanood din ng inyong mga followers. So, medyo flash question tayo. So, start muna tayo kay Jericho. Si Jericho napaisip agad eh. Yun muna, sige.
Kung man po, mapunta ako doon sa sitwasyon na gano'n, agad po akong mangungonsulta sa mga may mas alam dito. And kumbaga ako, nangongolekta lang po ako ng datos. Kasi this is a national issue eh. And ako po, coming from a LGU perspective, dahil yun nga po, nung nakaraan, lumaban din po kami dito sa Angeles ng LGU. I can see na national and local, medyo may konting dissonance yan pagdating sa mga issues na tinatalakay. So, ako, I'm thinking na shock, sabi ko sa national, it can be very divisive. So many layers also involved na I cannot oversimplify, no? That's why I really need a lot of mentors and experts. And, you know, most of the time, I would cite them. Ayun po. Kung man, mapunta ako doon.
Yes, so medyo ano tayo, no? Nandun tayo sa facet ng how to be medyo responsible din, no? With the content na you guys will be producing din. But Jelly, ikaw, more on your thoughts din, since medyo nasa back end yung mga content natin, how will you pivot that if ever mabigyan ka ng ganong opportunity?
I would try to show the behind the scenes of what happens in the briefings and the events. And I think that would be an interesting way to, from shoots na nagiging part ako to doing political events, which I don't see myself doing, but yeah, if given the chance, I think that I would try to go that route.
Medyo interesting din, no? Kasi iba yung perspective na ilalabas din niya. Medyo
exactly.
hindi malalayo dun sa current niya na pinapakita. So those are like very interesting ideas on how you as content creators will be able to showcase pa rin, information, especially in the light of information dissemination given this policy. But Gina, na-mention natin earlier, it's more about becoming responsible.
Yes,
Na-seed natin yun kanina, right?
Yan. Syempre, before proceeding to the question mismo, gusto ko lang i-emphasize din yung sinabi ng National Union of Journalists of Philippines or NUJP. Nasabi nila na ang pagbibigay ng access or ng democracy sa access para malaman ng mga vloggers o ng mga tao kung ano yung nangyayari sa gobyerno, kung ano yung mga activities nila and all that presidential events or briefings, it is commendable in principle.
Right.
Diba? Pero nagsabi din sila on a side note na wider access is a good thing. Pero it must not be at the expense of institutional media.
Right.
Yes,
But
diba?
I'm sure na these are stuff na we are thinking of, especially
Yes.
in this discussion with our content creators. That's why we're showing also mga schoolmates, no, ano nga ba yung thoughts or what's going through inside the head of an actual content creator. So, with that note, no, so maybe we could like push through with the next question, which nabanggit na nga natin kanina, right?
Diba?
Right?
Kasi diba, iniiwasan natin magkaroon ng spread ng false information. So, in line with that, sa inyong palagay, Jericho and Jerry Lee, paano ba magiging paano nga ba tayo magiging responsable bilang mga content creator, lalo na sa pagpapalabas ng inyong political opinions?
I would also ask people who are more an expert on this, like journalists. So parang why not sila na lang din talaga yung gumawa nito. So, pero if I were to do this, obviously I would do my research and I would try to keep educating myself on these topics. Yung magiging topic for the briefing, ayun.
Right. Thanks, Jerry Lee. Jericho, ikaw, ano ang thoughts mo on how to make a responsible content if ever given this chance?
Opo. I remember po noong 2018 when I tried to make videos more on socio-cultural. Hindi pa po political nun eh. this year na lang. I remember I would always go to a friend who is mas expert po sa topic na gusto kong tahakin. Always po, no, more than emotions. I have my own opinion, I have my own biases. Pero when it comes to objectivity, at the end of the day, meron tayong sinusundan na should I call it absolutes or facts? Or pag sa research, nagturo rin po ako research nung senior high. Tinuturo po namin dun is empirical data. No, empirical, hindi siya opinion. No? Okay yung opinion, pero at the end of the day, meron tayong anong tawag doon? Results. No? So, when it comes to such things, lalo na politika po, medyo mabigat na usapan yan. Hindi pwedeng opinion mo lang. Some things may trigger emotions, but factual pa rin ang dapat nating pinipresenta. Lalo na kung vlogger ka, content creator ka, kahit sabihin mong marami kang pinapanood, whether you like it or not, responsibilidad mo inevitably yung mga manunood sa'yo. So, kung hindi ka politics oriented but you decided to talk about it, at least consider some experts na hindi mo alam lahat, 'di ba? Para sinasite ko po ito, sinasite ko siya, si professor, si political professor ko or experts, journalists, etc. So yun po, para lang pag bubuga ka ng data, we encourage na kumbaga yung RRL mo, nag-Google Scholar ako, empirical po ito, etc.
Daming buzzwords
Oo.
na pang college yun. So may mga
Exactly.
nanonood sa atin dyan, medyo kinakabahan sa mga
Nakaka-pressure
thesis nila. Ayan, right,
Okay,
right.
since nabanggit nyo nga, Jericho and Jerry Lee, yung opinion nga, di ba? Speaking of, lahat naman tayo ay entitled to our own opinions. Ano yung magagawa ninyo or are you guys prepared kapag na-bash kayo or na-call out kayo? In times of, yung mga ganong times na inevitable, ano yung nyo? Call to action or ano yung
Or at least mindset,
mindset,
diba? Na
diba?
ini-implement nyo sa inyong mga sarili at sinishare nyo rin
Yeah,
with your
kasi
followers.
of course, they have
Oo.
followers, di ba? Siyempre,
Responsibility nga daw nila yung kanilang mga followers.
Isipin
right?
nila kung paano nila, isipin ng mga followers kung paano nila, paano i-address yun nung idol nila, di ba?
Right.
When that time comes, inevitably, sabi nga po ni Vico sa kanyang second term, paninindigan ko yung pinaglalaban kong tama, no? Not just what I think what is right, but what is right, no? Again, no? Kung man dumating yung time na paglalaban ko yung tama, if the time comes, and meron kang not intentionally matamaan, pero inevitably sa buhay natin, pag paglalaban mo yung tama, meron talagang matatamaan. If it's for the right cause, for the greater good, as cliche as it sounds, parang edi ma-crucify ako. Si Jesus nga pinako nila eh. So, edi baka tatahakin ko din yung public shame at the expense of at the pursuit of fighting for what is right. So, yun po. Medyo nakakakaba, pero if I perish, bala na.
Di naman siguro sa gano'n, di ba? Medyo pinakakabahan din yung mga schoolmates natin. But syempre, Jerry Lee, on your note naman, like how would you address that? Or what do you do on those times na I'm sure kayong dalawa na-experience yun na yun pero on a different content. Pero on this one, how would you address nga yung mga bashing or at least a negative comment from any of your followers or non-followers?
Yes, so getting bashed obviously is already part of being a vlogger, no matter what your content is. So mapa lifestyle man yan, makeup man yan, for sure you're gonna get bashed. It's inevitable. And obviously it's also gonna be heightened if politics ang pag-uusapan. So I've already actually made a couple of contents. I've done one on the Mañanita before and also ABS-CBN shutdown. The comments were definitely split depending on the people's own political views. So may it be a follower of mine or someone who just happened to watch the vlog. Definitely I got a lot of headache reading the comments, but I'm glad that I got to talk about my thoughts on certain issues, and I feel like it's a good way to express our thoughts, definitely. And it also became a discussion for me and the people who were commenting on the the vlogs that I made. So I'm for it.
Pero syempre on how we want to wrap this up, no? Bilang minsan lang naman namin din kayo ma-interview, so lulubusin na namin. Tinatanong namin to lagi with all of our schoolmates, even with our debaters and some of our guests before. Given with all these opinions and the statements that we've mentioned earlier, kayo ba, what do you suggest that the TCOO or any of the media centers that would probably be going through the process of the accreditation policy, how do you suggest that they should review the policy? Meron ba kayong suggestions, I think, on what to add? Or ano nga ba yung mga guidelines that you'd want them to really think through before natin ituloy itong prosesong ito? Siguro simulan natin kay Jerry Lee.
Ang masasuggest ko is hopefully maging well-represented yung group of vloggers that they're gonna accredit. People who are, like I said in the beginning, who are for and also possibly against the government. And to also be treated fairly, because I also got to read that some journalists are actually parang mas less yung pag-prioritize sa kanila than some vloggers who are given the chance to talk about these issues or like are present in these briefings and events. So sana ganun yung mangyari na maging fair yung treatment. And obviously, accredited bloggers who have done well-researched political vlogs in the past, yung alam mo yun yung naggawa na rin nila talaga to. Tapos now they're gonna be given this opportunity. I think that would be great. And last is, I think if merong open na journalists who would try vlogging, so parang less, I guess, less serious way of talking about these political issues. If there would be anyone open to that, that would be really interesting.
Ako naman po yun, I agree. 100%. Nasagot niya na sana kahit hindi ka aliado, kahit saan ka sa political spectrum, anong stance mo, for the sake of quote-unquote democracy and objectivity, may we welcome all voices, no? Pagdating sa journalists and experts. And also, when we accredit vloggers, okay yun na I get it dahil marami silang followers, mas kengkoy, mas relatable, hindi siya formal. Pero at the same time, there are, if I may say, criteria that we parang ino-observe. No? So again, like the vloggers na ginawa na dati to, may background sa politics, may nagre-research, etc. Sana po yun. And like experts who are into vlogging already, kagaya nila Doc Willie, Carl Balita, di ba, pagdating sa board exam, sa health tips, mga experts yun sa kanilang sektor. So, maganda yun, di ba? At least, meron kang free consultation, di ka na nagbabayad. So, just like Ma'am Jerry Lee said, ganun po. And lastly, yun nga po, may we create an environment of, sabi nga nyo po, no, maraming debaters sa Iskoolmates, may we have that civility of maybe we can agree to disagree, yung kumbaga exchange of ideas, no? Kasi ang dami ng ad hominem in pursuit of talking about ideas. Ad hominem is a sign of weakness, di ba po, sa debate. So, yun, when we talk about ideas, may we maintain honor and civility. But at the same time, yun nga, yung debate, maging siyang marangal, sabi nga nila.
Right. Ayan, sige.
Ayan, ang dami naman nating napag-usapan for today, Jericho and Jerry Lee. At dahil dyan, maraming salamat sa pagsama ninyo sa amin, Jerry Lee Salvador at Jericho Arceo.
Thank you so much!
Thank you!